This is an Audio Wool original.
It is Frightday. I'm your host, Byron, and we're broadcasting live from our almost island compound, northwest of England. And coming of age for boys, marking the transition into manhood, it can be challenging. The societal pressures to hit milestones, test your responsibilities, things like getting a part-time job, or learning how to drive, or even stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe onto the mainland to hunt the feral undead with nothing more than a bow and arrow. We'll talk about that tonight, as well as mortality, iPhones, and big old stacks of skulls, as we review Danny Boyle's 28 Years Later. It's about time. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
Hello.
And Sam can't make it because he's stuck in the attic of an old house.
Yep.
Yeah. Giraffes. 28-year lifespan. Did you know that?
Do you know how much giraffes sleep a day?
I don't know.
45 minutes.
That's not much. Did they lay all the way down?
No, I don't think so.
Interesting. We're both learning things today.
They have a lot. They do a lot of stuff. Can you imagine how much we could get done if all we needed was 45 minutes of sleep?
I've been getting less, and that's been fun.
Less than 45?
No.
Okay,
No,
don't do that. That's a terrible
certainly
idea.
Not. No, I love sleep. I'm a big sleeper, Kelly.
I know. I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day that says she's like very protective of her sleep, and I thought,
said,
you sound like my friend Byron.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say I'm protective of my sleep, it's protective of a specific amount of sleep.
Yes.
Which is 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And if I get less than that, I'm not gonna have a good day.
That's sad.
Why?
Because sometimes that just happens.
No, not in my world. I'm very in control of my environment.
Oh, that sounds good.
Kelly. People are going visitor crazy. Thanks so much again for the kind words of the second episode of Visitors. We have, a handful of them, including one, that you did recently.
Yeah.
A follow-up with a gentleman that you met there, but...
Yep. I've been a fan of his for a while.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
One of my favorite interviews that you've done.
Oh,
Really
thanks,
looking
Byron.
really looking forward
That's
to
really
that,
nice of you. That reminds me, I got to check in with him.
Wait, why? What are you trying to do?
Because he had some interesting stuff that was happening right after we chatted. I got to see how he's doing.
Yeah, it seemed like he was not going to get much sleep.
No, I think he probably is like closer to a giraffe.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Full circle conversation. We have a phone number, 1-833-374-4489, 1-833-FRIGHT9. Give us a call, leave us a message, tips, stories of your personal experiences with horror, terror, the macabre, even just kind of weird stuff that you want to talk about. You can also give us film recommendations, anything at all, 1-833-FRIGHT9. I don't have any other housekeeping. Do you?
I thought you had something you were going to play for us.
No, we don't have a call.
Okay, I was like...
we do, but I'm saving stuff for True Tales to Terror, which we haven't done in quite some time.
Okay. What else do I have? Okay, I have one thing.
Okay.
It's relevant, so just hold your breath for a second.
1 second.
There's a new movie that came out. If you are somebody who enjoys animated films, Elio.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it.
And in certain Reddit threads, I've spent a lot of time on like UFO Reddit recently.
What? You act like that's a surprise?
It is a surprise.
You have been deep for 2 months straight. It's been 60 days of Kelly's everyday obsession.
I know.
So
I know. But like there are people talking about how, whatever, like slow disclosure, cultural disclosure, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know that I buy any of that. But this was an adorable movie about this.
You think it's predictive programming or something?
I mean, you could probably put anything in that box if you wanted to. I don't
agree.
I don't really think so. But it's a Pixar film. It's great. Lots of lovely messages contained within it.
Cute.
And a really fun nod where they actually mention Arrow.
Which is, of course, the elite. What? Just tell me. Just give me. You don't. So you don't even.
No, it's the group that was investigating anomalous objects.
Okay, sure. Okay.
And
I didn't mean
it was basically fake investigating
Didn't
them.
mean to test your credentials.
Kirkpatrick.
Yeah. Okay. You know what you're talking about. Everyone
But
knows that.
it's a really cute movie, and the aliens they have are like hilarious aliens, not like gray aliens, like funny weird aliens,
sure.
right?
Scale of Big Hero 6 to Wall-E.
Well, nothing's as good as Wall-E.
Yeah.
But I like Big Hero 6. I don't know. It's probably like an 8.
Okay.
It was really good.
Is it? How about? I mean, the only.
It's about a little boy who feels like he's an outsider, so he is trying to get abducted by aliens.
Listen.
Like that's his entire mission in life is to get abducted.
I will tell you. I mean, I think I told everyone on the podcast my visceral reaction to the film, The Wild Robot, where I was openly weeping in a theater for about 15% of the film.
I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful story.
Is this going to make me cry like a Coke commercial would?
No.
Okay.
No. It's really cute, but it's not. I mean, there are points where you're going to be sad, but it's not like Wild Robot tearjerker.
Wild Robot didn't.
Have you seen Iron Giant?
No.
It would do the same thing to you that Wild Robot did.
Iron
I think
Giant would make me weep.
Iron Giant's a
uncontrollably?
beautiful movie.
Remember when I gasp cried during Wild Robot? Sometimes when things happen and it like hits me, I go, and I made like an uncontrollable inhale cry.
Is that like because you're trying not to cry?
It's just because I don't know something.
Where does that
it.
noise come from?
I don't know. It's just like it's a sharp inhale that comes from
It's like an anaphylactic reaction to crying.
Well, that's interesting.
Because I typically go ouch when I'm crying.
Huh. I think that, that's interesting. How do you cry? At Frightday on Twitter and Blue Sky, let us know. I think it's the same thing. It comes from the same place as yawning, which is like it's a yawning is a physical response to being tired. But there's something maybe to emotions that I also like.
Guys, did you see how Byron didn't yawn? You know how they say if you don't yawn when somebody else yawns that you're a serial killer?
I'm not a serial killer. That's fine.
I will warn you that if you try to keep it in, crying headaches, worst headache you'll ever have in your life.
It's not a real thing.
Crying headaches? Okay.
And on that note,
everyone out there, can people please report to Byron and
it's not real.
Notify him about what a crying headache is?
Crying headache. Okay. These DVD copies of Piranhaconda aren't going to put themselves away, Kelly.
Piranhaconda.
Rest in peace, Michael Madsen. Of course, who played Professor Lovegrove in Piranhaconda.
Yeah.
It's time for staff picks. Do I have a staff picks button on here? Sure do.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling, horror, straight ahead.
How are you feeling about your staff pick this week, Kelly?
Well, I had 2, but I got a little bit of controlled side eye from you.
No,
you were trying.
I didn't care at all. Remember, I said that this is your
It's your
episode.
Yeah, those are the types of things that my husband says to me when he's so annoyed with me that he's not even bothering anymore. Yep.
He's like, it's your thing.
He's like,
what one
whatever.
did we end up going with?
Sunshine.
Okay.
2007.
Which,
Wait until you see. I bet you don't even remember what kind of cast this one has.
it has been a long time.
The cast is like actually unreal.
It's a good year, though, too. You've got an image every second. Got the sun staring straight into it.
Well, because the premise is that the sun
Somewhere in the universe.
needs to be jump started.
Sure.
The sun dies.
A sun dies. And that's
Can't let ours die.
That's S-U-N. Just so everyone knows.
yeah, more
It's
than
not
one
not
S-O-N.
Not a male child.
Yeah,
Yes. Nice. I don't know if this trailer is going to give you what you're looking for. In 2007. Oh, it's a spaceship. It will be ours. All
We have
right.
a payload to deliver to the heart of our nearest star. That star is dying. And if it dies, we die.
I mean, yeah, of course. That was Chris Evans speaking, huh? Captain America.
Who gives a shit about him? Keep going.
Okay. Sunshine. So they're not going to show you much of the cast. So
Okay,
you're gonna
but
have to
here,
talk about it yourself.
I'm going to talk you through a bit of it because
Okay.
it...
It.
Well, tonight we're going to go into a lot more detail about this, but there's a writer-director combo that is probably my favorite writer-director combo that exists.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Danny
to me.
Boyle,
Uh-huh.
Alex Garland.
Alexander Garland. Yes.
And this was one of their earlier collaborations. But listen to this cast. Okay, so Cillian Murphy, Rose Byrne, Chris Evans,
Rose Byrne again, huh? Interesting.
Michelle Yeoh,
Okay.
Benedict Wong,
Sure.
Mark Strong.
Uh-huh. Paul Week.
Okay, well, now you're just being weird.
What? That's not... Come on now.
Oh my
I thought
gosh.
I was doing okay. I thought that was
This is such a good movie. It's often pegged as just a sci-fi.
Yeah, it's more of a sci-fi thriller.
I would actually see people make that argument about Event Horizon, I think is another one
well,
that you
Event
heard that.
Horizon's more of it's a horror film.
Okay,
though.
this is too. I don't know how
Okay.
much you remember about
well,
this.
in the not too distant future, Earth's dying sun spells the end for humanity. In a last-ditch effort to save the planet, a crew of 8 men and women venture into space with a device that could revive the star. It's like basically like a defibrillator for a
Yes,
sun.
it's a heart defibrillator.
Okay. However, an accident, a grave mistake, and a distress beacon from a long-lost spaceship, throw the crew and its desperate mission into a tailspin.
And I will say, if you haven't seen it, don't read a bunch about it because
Sure.
it is interesting. It's not quite what you expect it to be. The cast is obviously amazing. This came out after the duo wrote and directed 28 Days Later, hence the Cillian Murphy starring role. I do think it's funny that when you see it on YouTube, like they're upselling the Chris Evans more than they're upselling the Cillian.
I mean, this was a trailer from 2007. It's the announcement trailer for Sunshine. So
Yeah, but look at the blurb for it says starring Chris
it
Evans.
does say that.
But
yeah.
that was from 1 year ago that the blurb was written.
You know, producers and production companies, they do what they got to, you know?
I know.
There's so many, remember when every time someone gets famous and then there used to be 3 direct-to-DVD films that they did before that would come out?
All I know is this is one of the better movies
Mm-hmm.
that I have ever seen. And one thing in terms
Sorry,
of this type
I
of
was gonna
movie.
say, I didn't mean to make that noise. That was
No, I just mean
almost
like the
my-
sci-fi horror thing. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
cry about this
I
one.
won't.
But the thing I like about Alex Garland and Danny Boyle, sometimes a movie is as overt as like last year's Civil War,
Or the film that he did after that, Warfare.
which I haven't seen yet.
Oh,
but
yeah, you
I'll see
should
at some
check
point.
it
But
out.
that wasn't Boyle and Garland.
No, it's
Those were
just
just
Garland, yeah.
Garland just. But other times they cover a story that isn't seemingly, I guess, social commentary forward, but it seems to wrap around in that direction, and it really holds. I watched The Beach not too long ago.
You watch The Beach quarterly, I think.
I really should watch it quarterly, but actually it ends up being more like every 5 years.
Okay.
I listen to the soundtrack once a day.
Yeah, we
probably.
did a whole behind the screens about that.
It's the best soundtrack that's ever been made.
All right.
But they capture something about humans and different levels of what we have going on and our best and our worst in a really unique way. And it holds true. And I think Sunshine is one of the most unique perspectives on that. And I really wish that everybody would watch it so that we could discuss it.
You want to have a discussion maybe in the Discord?
Yeah, like we should do this
discord.frightday.com
one
or-
for, I think this one counts as a classic.
Oh gosh, it's that ever shifting thing. Like, what is vintage? Vintage is what 20,
We're old. 2007.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's
though.
almost 20.
I think vintage technically is 20 years, from the present.
Yeah.
into
So, I
the
mean, like, we're
past.
kind of almost there.
Oof, it's on the edge, isn't
It's
it?
really on the edge. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it isn't, though, The Beach. We could watch The Beach. That's solidly.
I don't want to watch The
It doesn't
Beach.
count as a horror. I won't try with that
I
one.
don't think I'm going to watch The Beach, Kelly.
You've never seen it, though, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Maybe I should watch The Beach.
You actually would probably like it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think you'd hate that running across the water scene a lot less, too.
You think so? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I've got another English director for us this week, someone whose follow-ups, in my opinion, have been lacking.
Ooh.
After a stellar streak with Dog Soldiers and The Descent, Neil Marshall stumped me with a little film from a year after the film that you just talked about, Sunshine, 2008's Doomsday. Does that ring a bell to you?
No, none.
Interesting. Well, this preview's been approved for all audiences, by the way.
All audiences.
Yeah.
This is the end of the world!
Very
It was an
apocalyptic.
epidemic unlike any other. Within days, millions were infected. Within weeks, they were forced together.
Containment is our absolute priority.
You don't remember this?
Blockade all bridges,
I mean,
streets,
it
and
seems
railways.
like they just ripped off.
And then left to die.
We're in
But 25 years
2033.
after the outbreak,
25 years later.
It's the virus. It's back.
containment has failed.
What the hell are we going to do? What we're about to show you is highly confidential.
Kate Beckinsale, obviously.
The hard zone. And if there are survivors, there must be a cure.
You're going out there. If there's such a thing as hell on earth, that's
That's
it.
really not Kate Beckinsale.
we're looking for. If it's there, I'll find it. Take us in.
Whoa, who is that?
Once you're over that wall,
Rona
there's no system,
Mitra.
no rules.
Oh, but it's
No
Bob
backup.
To
Hoskins.
find a cure,
We're against the clock on this one.
they must return to the world they left behind.
How the hell are we supposed to find anything in this mess?
I'll know when I see it.
It's like pornography.
This is our
That's Supreme Court.
We're gonna catch them! Hook 'em!
It's like Mad Max 28 weeks later. Drama Distrain?
Yeah, we don't need to keep going through the trailer, but you truly haven't seen anything about Doomsday from Neil Marshall?
I mean, Byron, keep in mind, I have no recollection
That's
of anything
true.
that I've seen.
I mean, in 2008, I feel like it was a different time. I just assumed that everyone watched everything because it was all, direct to DVD and video rental.
I was like biting my nails trying to get through my engagement to make sure Sam didn't figure shit out and decide not to marry me.
Yeah, well, now he knows, but it's too late.
Right.
of
So like
course.
2008's kind of a blur because I was like really holding my breath that year.
Interesting. When the first outbreak of the Reaper virus hit Scotland, Eden Sinclair was one of the last to escape containment and had to leave her mother behind. 25 years later, Major Eden Sinclair leads a team back into the hot zone to find a counter agent to the virus, which has reemerged in London. She and her comrades wage a desperate battle for survival against the feral survivors as they try to prevent it from ushering in a new dark age. I don't typically do, staff picks is like, I'm supposed to be suggesting a film usually that I enjoy. I did not enjoy this film. I don't recall liking it at all.
Well, what the fuck was the point?
Well, because it's a good pairing for 28 years later, clearly based on the premise of the film.
Well, like a wine pairing. Like you don't do a wine pairing if you don't like wine.
One's really bitter, and the other is also kind of fucking bitter. Let's be real. 28 years later is not good.
It's great.
Spoiler alert.
It's great.
But yeah, I don't like this film. I haven't watched it in a while, and honestly, watching the trailer makes what I'm about to say a little bit hard to believe. I feel like it reminds me of direct-to-DVD films. Even
Really?
though this feels a little bit bigger budget.
That feels pretty
There's
big
still kind
budget.
of cracks in the CG, and
Well, it was 2008.
yeah, and then when we shift into that kind of third act with the the underground people, it gets a little silly, right?
They're underground people.
I don't know if they're underground, but like the people who are living within the the madness. But yeah, there's something about the silliness or the lack of seriousness in this film.
Okay.
The lack of any realness in this
Okay.
concept that rubs me the wrong way. It feels like a modern like Death Race 2000.
It did look a little bit like that.
Yeah, and I mean, you said Road Warrior. That could be mixed in there, but like the combination of those elements, it just is way too campy for me. And honestly, we're going to talk about it in a little bit. That might be the reason that this franchise has fallen off for me as well. But watch this if you are curious or think that looks like something fun for you, or if you're like a Malcolm McDowell completist, you can check this out. He's in there. He was in a lot of things, though.
He was, yeah. He was pretty prolific. You got a lot of work if you're going to try and catch that full round.
Of course, yeah. And that's my pick this week, Kelly. Surprised you haven't seen it? Go home, ask your husband what he thinks of it, because I'm guarantee you he's a big Neil Marshall guy.
Well, we're probably going to rewatch Sunshine before we do that, because everybody loves Sunshine.
And that was the other reason is, Neil Marshall and Danny Boyle, both UK directors,
Okay, I suppose I'll take that. It's still weird.
It's not weird. I'm good at my job. But it's also time to discuss the zombie apocalypse and to check in on how it's panning out as we review 28 years later.
Hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
28 Years Later is a 2025 post-apocalyptic coming-of-age horror film produced and directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland. Apparently, he also has a producer credit. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Mm-hmm. It's the third installment in the 28 Days Later film series. I guess they could call it the 28 blank later film series. I don't know. There's got to be a smoother way to do that. Following 28 Days Later.
The Rage series.
Well, that's a good. Rage virus series, yeah. 28 Days Later in 2022 and 28 Weeks Later in 2027. A group of survivors of the Rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors. Interesting synopsis. They're keeping something close to their chest inside there. Speaking of close to the chest, close to your heart, a guy named Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
He's been doing it a bit.
He has.
1957 was when he was born. A working class Catholic family. He was an altar boy for 8 years, Kelly. And
good.
Almost joined.
No wonder he made horror movies.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Almost joined the priesthood, but at 14, a priest named Father Conway said that he shouldn't join the seminary and said that instead he should explore drama.
I was waiting for some really horrific exploitation of 14-year-old Danny Boyle to be part of that story.
Whether he was saving me from the priesthood or the priesthood from me, I don't know. But quite soon after, I started to do drama, is what Danny said here. He noted the connection between directing and religious service, saying they both involve, quote, telling people what to think. And I kind of take a little bit with that. You're not supposed to tell people what to think. You're supposed to show them and influence them that way. You know?
Well, yes, but that's the way you tell them what to think.
You don't tell them. You don't tell them. I think Kugler would take issue with that.
Maybe.
It's not the Kugler approach.
Maybe he would.
Danny apparently learned this approach at the University College of
London.
Well, of North Wales.
Okay.
It's Bangor University now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm Welsh.
You're Welsh?
I'm Welsh.
But you say that about every ethnicity that you can get away with.
You know what? I do not know that I have a single ounce of.
You're not quite Dole's, but you.
I don't think that I've got any Japanese or Korean in me. I don't think I've got any Spanish.
Yeah. So any of the visible ones that you can get away with saying as a white person.
Well, this is according to my Ancestry.com research.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder how that goes, though. Can you really, is it the kind of thing that you can convince yourself you're like...
Well, so it's based off of, like, some of it seems kind of nonsensical, like you could maybe make some false conclusions, but a lot of it's like actual tracking paperwork. Like, we found Sam's family's registration names, like, from Ellis Island on there.
Yeah.
Like, so...
Like original names, but yeah that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and like wedding certificates and death certificates and all sorts of stuff. The Mormons know everything.
I was going to say, it all goes back to the Mormons.
The Mormons know it all.
The 1980s, though, going back to this, they were all about theater for Danny Boyle. He worked in the theater a lot. He was like an art director and then a director of productions in general.
Is Irish, though, right? He grew up, is he Irish?
Yeah, I'm actually unsure. You should take a peek at that. But he studied English and drama, again, like I said. I already said that. But he joined the BBC Northern Ireland as a producer. So maybe that's where you're thinking is like, maybe that's why you think he's Irish. I don't know.
Could be.
But yeah, things grew from there. He shifted to directing, breaking through a little bit with a film called Shallow Grave in 1994, which I haven't seen, but I did see Trainspotting.
I was going to say, yeah.
1996.
Yeah.
Then there was something in the year 2000, I don't know, 28 Days Later in 2022.
Jerkalope.
Wait, what?
First of all, he also did Iggy Pop's music video, Lust for Life, in 96, which was kind of a big deal.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
That's like one of Iggy Pop's.
I don't know the video. So.
Yeah, well, it's like one of Iggy Pop's most famous songs.
I see. I wouldn't know. Sorry.
Oh, well.
I'm a Stooges guy. That was kind of where I got off the train. Yeah.
Okay, I only got on with Lust for Life.
Interesting.
Life Less Ordinary was kind of fun.
Yeah. The Beach was the film that I was skipping.
I know
over.
you were.
Okay, I just want to make sure everyone.
Millions, another one.
We don't need to talk about that. 28 Days Later in 2022, and I really did enjoy Sunshine in 2007. But his biggest breakthrough into the, I guess, even more mass appeal was Slumdog Millionaire.
Everybody loved that.
Academy Award winner?
I think it did. I think it won multiple.
And then there's the Franco vehicle, 127 Hours.
You know what's funny is I think that might be his only movie that I've never seen any of.
127 Hours.
None of it.
I thought it was cool because, I'm a sicko. Especially back then, I was like, any sort of story of, human.
That's totally fine.
A guy cutting his whole fucking arm or leg. I can't remember. I feel like it was an arm off.
It was an arm.
Yeah. Interesting story. Not a bad movie. But, yeah, I was in the audience of a talk that he did at South by Southwest for the film Trance. I didn't watch the film. Never have.
Interesting.
What? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
How was it?
Fine. I mean, it's not a movie with Alex Garland, so
okay, well,
it's moderate. But I love Vincent Castle and I love Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say Dawson was in that. Yeah.
McAvoy's fine.
Okay, Steve Jobs though. People like that. I feel like that did pretty well.
It did very well.
Was that the Kutcher one? Ashton?
Yeah, I believe that was...
Speaking of canceled folks, we got Franco and Kutcher.
Wait, what did Kutcher do? No, it was Fassbender. It was Fassbender.
Okay.
But it was Rogen and Fassbender.
Okay. The other one was just called The Jobs or something?
Possibly.
Yeah.
What did Kutcher do?
No, he just supported Danny Masterson.
Like undyingly or like...
No, he just was like a character witness for him, and Mila Kunis were character witnesses for Danny Masterson.
Okay.
Got wrapped up in that whole thing.
Tough.
And then I didn't know he did T2, Kelly.
Terminator?
It was Trainspotting too. It just went by.
Oh, I remember when that came out and I never saw it.
I didn't either. I'm not sure many people saw T2.
It has 7.1.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I wasn't really interested in that. And then he did that film. He did that film about what if the Beatles didn't exist. Remember?
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that existed. That happened.
That did exist.
Wild stuff. He's a 68-year-old guy right now. So
I love him.
That's fine. I feel like I've in running through his filmography here, I feel like I've displayed something significant, a trend.
What, that he really likes representing different perspectives on humanity.
No, a shift and a disorganized nature, I guess.
How?
What do you mean? All of these films are bizarre and different.
Oh, see, that's where I disagree with you.
Do you think Yesterday has anything to do with 127 Hours, which is attached to, what, the beach? I don't know.
The human spirit, every single one of these movies is
you could be very vague.
No, but that is like the driving force in all of the movies.
The human spirit, I feel like that would be one of 4 ways that films could go.
Survival, like the
Sure,
involuntary response of humans to persist through
quite general themes.
I don't know. Like, I think that surviving, you think about Train Spotting, you've got people surviving horrific drug abuse. You think about Slumdog Millionaire, you've got people
maybe
surviving.
You're about Perseverance, maybe. Is that?
Maybe Perseverance, but also like finding light within any of that.
And what if the Beatles never existed? What if you woke up one day? How traumatic would that be?
I mean, for a lot of people, it would be awful. I wouldn't give a flying fuck, but like, for a lot of people, it would be really awful.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, I guess that Wings song for that one James Bond movie that I really like would be missing.
You would be fine if. Oh no, that's one that
that would be sad.
That one would hurt
that
you
would
deeply.
Kind of be sad.
I don't know.
But it's people understanding what keeps them going or discovering what keeps them going through things of varying degrees of horror. But really, I mean,
it's not always like that though, right? Like,
I mean, really, it kind of is. Like Train Spotting, The Beach, A Life Less Ordinary.
I don't think, Steve Jobs isn't that, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
it's bio.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bio, but even that, I mean, like the piece that he hones in on is like Jobs' motivation, like what his.
I don't think they're all connected. I think they're pretty well in their own lane. But
I have not seen Babylon.
Okay,
the TV series, but the rest of these that at least I've seen, it is a pretty like pervasive, and that's actually what I like the most about his most recent. The 28 Years Later is, I think it connects really well with the other 28 movies, but it is completely on its own, and it is much more the story of this boy figuring out what it is that's going to keep him going. I think is like what the message of the movie is overall.
Isn't that almost the same plot of the first film?
No, because it was like
he woke up from a coma entirely by himself.
But he had been born into this world that had now disappeared. And now we have this boy who's almost on the flip side of it. We've got a boy who was born into...
But he was not exposed to it,
but he knew 100% of, like, constantly, that's all he was raised with. He knew that's why he lived where he lived. He knew he lived an existence that was completely different than, like, the one that Cillian Murphy lived.
But before we get into that too much, let's walk up to it. Apparently, the 28 Years Later film, the production started, or I guess general development shortly after 28 Weeks Later, because of course, like, 28 days, 28 weeks, what's next? Yes. But
it would be months. But
oh gosh, yeah. Why didn't they do months?
The timing wouldn't be wrong, right? Yeah.
20 months, they should have done it, huh? Oh well, it stalled in development hell. Months would have been good, actually. Just a couple years later, I think they could have done it.
Well...
Wait, what? Is there reasons behind it?
Well, it was just literal timing. Like getting something in that period would have been difficult because of all the other things that they were both working on. But
are you kidding me? They had like a decade. They could have figured it out.
But the point is for it to have been like within a reasonable. Also, the messages that they were trying to convey in this, which we'll talk about in a minute, necessitate a longer passage of time.
Okay, well, yeah, this all gained traction in 2024 when the series producer Andrew McDonald bought the rights to the first film back from Searchlight and then sold them to Sony on the condition that the studio would fund the sequels. Sequels. Yes! Interesting. Alex Garland, like you said, returned to write the screenplay. I feel like Boyle and Garland had nothing to do with 28 Weeks Later. Is that right?
No, they did.
Are you sure? Maybe check it out.
I should check it out.
I'm not.
You
certain.
might be right, but I thought for sure.
Oh yeah,
that they did.
it says right here. Both of them served as executive producers on 28 Weeks Later. So he initially had no interest in returning to the series unless he was struck by a specific idea that compelled him to pursue it. That was Garland saying that. So
the opening scene of 28 Weeks Later, I genuinely think is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'll give you that. I saw it in the movie theater by myself.
It was so
the year
amazing.
It came out. So I was probably 20 years younger.
Oh my God.
It was cool. Yeah, I think it rattled me. Like and they tried to replicate that in this film. The zombies on the hill kind of running towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But
the hill stuff is always very spooky.
Yeah, there's something about
a theme.
The distance between that is like them closing in, like knowing that there's that kind of, you have a second to experience the horror, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And also like the silhouetting of a zombie, because
so cool.
There's something like for a second you're like, are they? Is it? And then
when it starts to move, yeah.
There's something about that.
It is really good.
Yeah, I mean, Cillian Murphy. Are we doing silly?
Kill.
It's
kill.
It's not silly. It's kill.
It's killy.
Cillian Murphy, star of the original film. He, a lot of people when the trailer came out, they thought that it was him rising up. This guy behind me.
Oh, that would have been. Yep.
It's not though.
No, it's not.
But
he was a producer.
He's an executive producer on the film, and apparently they say makes a cameo appearance as an infected character. I don't know if that's true or not.
I love that because it'd be so hard to figure out which one it is.
Of course, there's lots of zombies in this, but they wanted actors in this that could accurately depict the familial bonds. That was like their focus in casting, and I feel like they did an okay job.
I think they did a really good job. I love Jodie Comer.
Mm-hmm. Jodie Comer did a great job.
And it's funny because I haven't even seen her in that much. I guess I've seen her in The Bikers or whatever that movie was with Tom Hardy and
Elvis Presley.
Right, and Elvis, who I have to admit is growing on me.
Really?
He used to drive me bananas.
Okay.
But I liked him okay in The Bikers, and then the preview I saw for his newest movie that's coming out looks really fun.
Well, I mean, in Eddington, right?
Oh, I haven't seen Eddington, of course.
I haven't seen it. I have tickets for it.
I forgot that he was in it. Yeah.
He's like an online cult leader.
That's right. Which he seems very, So I think that Comer did an amazing job. The mother component of this movie, oddly, was one of my favorite parts.
That's interesting.
In a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
But I think that even the way that she portrayed the role of a mother in what essentially is a different world, that there were parts of this world, because it takes place 28 years after the infection.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've got this little island that's been quarantined and has managed to keep itself safe.
Yeah.
And
because of this tidal path, like a path that, is only...
It's a causeway.
Is that what that's called?
It's a causeway.
Wow.
Yep.
Is that a natural thing?
Yep. It's when, the stones were built by whatever, years and years ago.
Wow. You learn something new.
So you can only cross it during low tide. And
that's what I get for being landlocked my whole life.
Well, there you go. And they have a pretty robust functioning community. They've got agriculture, they've got school, they've got a lot going on.
It felt a little like The Walking Dead, like the later seasons of The Walking Dead, right?
Fair enough, yeah. But one of the things that I felt immediately was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. These kids don't have any smartphones.
Okay, well, Danny Boyle sure did.
Yeah. And it was amazing.
No, it wasn't. It was bad.
It was amazing.
The entire film was shot on iPhone 15 Pro Maxes. Did you know that?
No,
No, it's bad.
That's amazing.
It's dumb. And it looks bad, looks junky. Every scene was shot by 8 different angles. They made rigs trying to do bullet time, kind of like The Matrix. That's why when you saw those kind of choppy,
I loved the choppy.
So they made rigs with iPhone 15s in a circle, basically.
I love it. I think that doing the innovative stuff is really fun, but to me, that choppy and some of the grainy stuff was what the earlier two were, and so I was good with that.
But it's not, though. I could see what you're saying with the graininess, and that is the reason he chose to do this. He's like, I want something to represent like this new era, and for me, like the raw of this era is iPhone 15s, and I can't remember the name of the camera that they used in 2002. But it was a dated consumer camera, basically. So that's why it was like...
So it's always been a consumer...
Yes.
Medium that they're using.
But stylistically, the way it was done, the first film is like really thoughtful, long takes. And like really with a focus on framing, I guess. Like there's no frenzy. What you get, like the feeling and anxiety that you get in 28 Days Later comes from... almost a POV element. Like
okay, so we need to rewatch it again because my memory of it, and I could be wrong too, was that it was like
it was shaky.
Parts of it were very frenzy.
It was shaky. It wasn't choppy. Like I think.
See, I remember like weird. I could be just misremembering. Honestly, it felt really choppy to me
as well because it has been a long time since I've seen that film.
Like I remember some scene in a church where like they're in and like the angles kept chopping to different angles, and I remember how like
interesting. Yeah, and maybe I am wrong, but the scenes that stand out to me are, you know, from when Killian wakes up. I wish I knew the name of his character, and we have this kind of slow movement with the building, like "Godspeed You Black Emperor" song that lasts like whatever 10-12 minutes or something. But and there's all these shots like from really far away that introduce him as a character as he's walking the streets of London, you know?
Right.
Like that's what I see that film as. Like,
and it was really cool. And now it's something that was almost oddly prophetic in some ways of what a lot of people experienced, you know, during the peak of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And also they're working with a world that has now become like this has become normalized, right? And I think one of the things they played with in this were characters whose entire existence has been within this world of the rage.
Which is, I mean, because we're now in the perspective of this little boy who, like you mentioned earlier, has never experienced a world where this didn't exist.
Right. And you've got... you know, some very traditional coming of age elements, and the dad's really excited to take him to go on this mission that everybody goes on to get supplies.
Rite of passage, yeah.
Right. And
and that was the thing that I wasn't super clear on. Was it to get supplies, or was it just to like enter the mainland? Like, 'cause
I think the key,
there can't be supplies left, right? Like,
well, I think it's to keep exploring, see what's happening. To some degree, I mean, obviously, like there's a heck of a lot of wildlife, like to get food. And they've got pigs domesticated and stuff. So, I mean, nobody's starving, but it's also protection and the idea that, you know, they need to be able to protect their home, this place that they live.
Yeah.
And so it really was to go and kill, you know, and for this kid to start learning how to kill the infected.
And I think that's more of what it is. It's almost a novelty at this point. Like, and
I think you're right.
But I think it's a novelty that means a lot to at least the father, who we didn't mention his name. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Jamie.
What else is he in?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But I thought he did a really, really good job.
I will give you that. I think the family dynamics are really interesting because there's... While I don't, I still think that the setup for the film is a little over edited, but there are moments inside the house when we're introduced to the mother and the father in kind of a more intimate way.
Yeah.
There is some subtlety to the explanation of the situation they're in.
Right.
Like the mother is suffering some sort of illness.
She's sick. Yep.
She's bedridden. And there's this father character who this coming of age journey that he's going to go on with his son means a lot to him. And I think it's because he's got so much internal pain, I guess, you know, like he's frustrated with the shake that he's gotten in life. I don't.
And he did live in this other world.
Yeah.
Right. And so he is wanting something to go well, something that, I mean, clearly it's not an easy existence.
Yeah, we don't know what he does for as a profession, right? Like,
they don't have professions.
I mean, but I don't know if that's just because it wasn't shown or if it's not.
Well, because if it's 28 years later,
but
they're living on this little
in
island.
The community, I think, does something, right? Like, I don't know.
Hunter. He's a hunter.
Is that what he is?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
I think so. At least that was my understanding.
I think that, I mean, maybe that's one of my problems is there's like half information without context, and maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, and this is where maybe this is a good time for me to bring in. So the beach, for those of you who haven't seen it.
Oh, God, here she goes.
It's this entitled American, like, early 20s kid traveling in Southeast Asia. Like the biggest cliche
Leonardo
ever.
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he like wants to go to like the most extremely remote island to see like the most beautiful beach, right? So it's such a cliche, but that's kind of the point.
The goal is to find the most beautiful beach?
Yeah, the most beautiful remote island that he can. So he's
Okay.
like asking the locals, and he, you know, finds this map and finds this way to get to this supposedly just pristine, beautiful, amazing beach.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets there, and there's this essentially intentional community of people that have set up there, you
Who
know.
also agree that it's very beautiful there.
Right.
Okay.
But they've got this weird hierarchy structure where like everybody has their little jobs, and there's things that Tilda Swinton's in it. She's amazing in it. It's the first movie I think I ever recognized who she was and like registered that this woman was an amazing actress. But there are a lot of parallels between that little community and what's going on there, and then what you see in this community on this little island off the coast of England in 28 years later. And in some ways, like when people would leave that little paradise community to go back to the mainland to get supplies, it was treated the same way that these people going on to the zombie infected mainland was. Like,
so society was just as evil.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were trying to like escape it and avoid it. And then it became this dynamic of like, okay, actually maybe what's going on in this community actually isn't super healthy either. And I think it's...
Do people do like a rum springer or something? Like,
well, like there's just, you know, and then it turns out well, I don't want to ruin it.
don't
You
ruin
really should
that.
watch it. But
I mean, listen, as much shit as I give you about the beach.
I actually think you'd like it.
Well, clearly it's like a pretty well regarded film.
It was
like,
better when it came out. It's going to feel a little cheesy, but there's a lot that goes on in it. And the sound design, you know how I never even noticed sound design?
Mm-hmm.
The sound design of all of the movies that these two make
This
together.
stinks, by the way. At least the first third of this film, too loud.
Okay, so I want to tell you...
The audio mix is
The stuff in the background?
No, even the music, and it's poorly.
We're not talking about the music. The
Poorly
stuff in the
pieced
background.
together. Okay.
So I'm sure you heard, because it came up over and over again, stuff in the background that almost sounded like number stations.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So one of them was a Rudyard Kipling poem called Boots. Okay. And it was written in like early 1900s, and it was meant to like replicate the almost psychological horror of the repetition of marching, like in World War I.
Okay.
And it was read by an actor in 1915, and the recording of that actor reading it is what played in the background in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's also what our military plays to train troops on coping with psychological torture.
Why?
Because it is so...
Because you clears your head. It's
well,
like a,
no. It's a form of torture.
Oh, but you said to cope with.
To cope with it, right? Like they...
Oh, it's like a preparation?
Yeah,
like
exactly. They're like simulating it, and they're trying to like
wow.
get them like trained up on how you can deal with psychological torture. And this is one of the big things that they use. It is like if you listen to the whole
I'm
recording,
sure you can find the recording.
You totally can.
Yeah.
The actor that read it, his name was Taylor Holmes, and it's just depressing and hopeless and monotonous. And it's just over and over and over and over again. It's just really painful.
I never said Boyle wasn't artsy. Like, I think that there's some choices in here that are, I mean, clearly,
but like that
clearly it's all
background
intentional,
is
right?
like what's going on in the community to a certain degree. And even though it is idyllic in the sense that compared to The Rage, they're doing really well, but there's this sense of they're not doing what humans had evolved at this point in time to do, to like go
they're
out.
Stuck too.
Right.
I think that maybe there's a lot of that, you know, influence in like the general English economy, you know, how like there's a lot of like kind of stagnant economy issues.
Well, and I couldn't figure out what that flag was. It's the flag of England, or like the St. George flag. And it has to do, like, it was flown during the Crusades a bunch, and it definitely is tied up in the political chaos of like Brexit.
Sure.
It was definitely meant to be symbolic of some of the issues surrounding that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's I think maybe one of my problems is there's almost too much, not in those elements, just in general. I think Boyle was way too ambitious with this. And clearly, let's get this out of the way. There's going to be more of these films.
Thank God.
Interesting.
You're going to be more interested when I give you the relevance of the character that enters at the very end.
I hate my life about that.
Well, you're going to hate it more when you hear who
sucks.
that's supposed to be.
It's bad, and I think it sucks, but we will get there probably. I think, and I've said this a little bit, this will be the last I say about the first third of this, other than I think we probably have to talk a little bit about the adventure and the return, kind of this, it is just so over edited. I think I did say that, but every the coverage on every scene is like disorienting. Like when you shoot,
so you think it needed more time
between cuts, for sure. I think that time between cuts shows confidence in what you're shooting. Also, a lot of times when you shoot someone talking, like if we're shooting us talking, there'd be two cameras and then like a center shot, like an establishing mid, you know. But instead of doing that, Boyle shoots all of his close-ups from different angles. It would be like, you know, you're talking and the camera's here, and then it goes to me and the camera's somewhere else, and then you go back and the camera's somewhere else. Like there's another camera shooting the same thing. And there's
do you know what I think that was doing though?
What?
The jarring nature of what they're experiencing, and they're constantly like
maybe
everywhere there's shit coming that could be coming from everywhere.
I could see that, but when you're
and it's like making you feel almost like uncomfortable, on edge, unsettled.
Me out of it,
okay,
though, because
I
think when you put yourself in like a position viewing, you sink into the comfort of that angle, and he removes all of that. And clearly, again, that's intentional. I just don't know if it's the right choice. Like there are specific rules in filmmaking that, like, if we're talking and you're being shot from this way, Kelly, the next shot shouldn't be you coming from the other way, because then people don't know where you are in the room, like mentally. And I don't know the name of the actual rule, but it's just disorienting. And everything he did in this was like, there's no like actually comfortable angle that he's stuck with. And yeah, it bothered me.
Well, and I do
like
think both what was going on in the environment and what was going on emotionally for this kid was super disorienting.
Sure.
Like he's in truth probably too young to be out and doing this.
He was 2 years too young, right?
Right. But his dad wants him to have this experience. And I think honestly, to a degree, his dad's like clinging on to this as some ray of hope to keep him moving forward, because he knows something's really wrong with his wife.
To live through his son,
like
right? The successes of his son,
right? It's like the football dad in some ways. You know what I mean? But it's also the chaos of there are like these weird, slow moving worm infected zombies. And then all of a sudden we see some of the really what we're used to, the fast infected.
But then we see something else we're not used to.
Well, because in 28 years, a lot of shit has changed and things have evolved. In the great words of Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way, right?
I hate that.
This
is video game. This is like...
Oh, it didn't feel like video game to me. I loved it so much.
Well, but you also didn't play a lot of video games, right? So in Resident Evil, like I like zombie video games where there's just zombies. But then there's games like Resident Evil or House of the Dead.
You can't compare them to games.
No, but
this is a movie.
that's how this works. That's how this has evolved. Like it evolved exactly to mirror the way that video games.
Boo!
It is a boo. It's a big boo.
I thought it was great because I liked the logic of it.
Special zombies.
We do.
No,
'cause that's
we don't.
That is like from an evolutionary standpoint. That's what would happen.
No. First of all, zombies can't exist. So
they aren't technically zombies. They're infected with a virus.
Well, in that case, they would die from the elements and the lack of nutrition, Kelly. They would starve.
But there isn't a lack of nutrition. That's the whole point. Do you see all those deer that are on that island?
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Okay.
They're not going to starve. There's plenty of shit to eat.
I think eventually they would die. And we can't. I'm not going to do this.
Those deer just breeding.
This is high school parents' basement conversations. I'm not going to run through. I do have a tattoo of Max Brooks' zombie survival guide. I'm not going back to that. I don't need to be that Byron. I'm not going to debate how a zombie would survive. Okay?
But I'm just saying it's at least feasible that they would survive this way. And I think that the whole evolution of them into something that is an advancement of humanity, right? Like that makes sense.
And we're talking about...
you've even got like this weird dichotomy between, okay, so now
let's explain what we're talking about.
It's like an alpha, which is totally normal in like that's how a lot of societies evolve. There's an alpha figure who has become stronger and really
a giant zombie.
I mean, he's not really a giant. He's just not slouched
like
over.
3 feet
He's just
taller.
Momoa. He's just Jason Momoa.
I think he's quite tall.
I'm pretty sure it was Jason Momoa.
He literally picked a man up by his head, and
that's because he was very strong.
Well,
I liked the way he ripped the skulls off and pulled the spines out. That was Sam's favorite part.
Of course, it was Sam's favorite part.
Yeah,
I don't know. To me, this felt like Land of the Dead. Like, we've got Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, and then Land of the Dead, the one that came out in the early 2000s.
Okay, well, fine, but we still need to get to the part where the son and
the
father...
zombies become sentient, kind of. Like, they actually can, like, do stuff and understand. Like,
they're understanding commands.
Well,
the one alpha is like strategizing. They've also got these birds that follow the humans.
Yeah,
and
like
that serves as a signal. I love all of it, but really,
well, and then the pregnant one, of course. Which
there was a pregnant one, but we're not going to spoil that situation because that is definitely that's a dead giveaway.
Okay, well,
suffice it to say that
another ripoff of the modern Dawn of the Dead, but
I handled that. I handled that.
You handled... Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't care about zombies. Zombies' lives.
No, I do. I do. Well, at least the baby. I do. But...
Do we want to run through? Like, I mean,
so the kid and his dad, they get into trouble. They run back.
On the mainland, yeah. Things don't go
and they
so
have
well.
to run back, not when it's low tide, so they're running through the water.
Yeah.
And the stars above are gorgeous.
And CG and swirling, and there's mist and colors.
And for those of you who have seen the beach, the scene where Leo is on the beach with Francois and they're looking at the stars and doing time-lapse photography of the stars.
Yeah.
And it matches this perfectly. And I know that for many people, they probably hated the scene. It
felt like a video game, again.
I fucking loved it.
Because then, of course, they're
like
chased
my
by this...
heart lit up.
Well, and that's kind of cool. There was a little bit of like, oh, they survived this kind of tricky situation, right?
Right, but then they realize that, oh shit, this zombie's smarter and he's running through the water after us and he's faster than us.
Lumbering through
the
water.
And a lot stronger than us, and he's just like sprinting.
Looking like maybe a PS3 video game cutscene. It was rough.
And they almost don't make it back. And then they go and they're celebrating this kid again, like with the confusion. They make it in, they close the gates just in time. Somebody shoots Samson like 800 times with arrows.
Big old arrow, yeah.
And then it cuts to this celebration where everybody's welcoming the kid home from his first hunt.
Giving him beers
and the dad's
stuff.
lying through his teeth trying to build the kid up. But the kid actually feels really uncomfortable with it. He doesn't like it. He's like, no, that's not what happened. Like, I got scared.
I was really scared.
And he doesn't think it's healthy to be bullshitting or to...
I don't think he's thinking too much about that. I think it's an
well,
internal
it's wrong
thing.
but he doesn't... Like, he's actually trying to stop his dad publicly from doing it.
He's like, I missed. He's like telling him, like...
And his dad's just like, oh, hush, hush. You don't understand. And then he sees his dad walk off with some woman.
Which again, I don't know if we finished that conversation. Like, the dad is struggling. Like,
oh, he's really struggling. And on the one hand, of course, I'm like, fuck this dude. Like, his wife's sick. On the other hand, I'm like, oh my God, like, what is just a nightmare situation all around.
Every day is exhausting for him, because he has to kind of handle in a less than ideal situation. Like, in any other time, like, his wife could get help, And I think clearly this is a person he used to love a lot.
Right. Well,
but
and
I
think
she's going away. Like,
and this kid, I think all of us go through this period in life where we change from thinking our parents have everything under control and understand things and like have the playbook on life.
Yeah,
right.
Parents are secure.
To going
everything is,
and then you're like,
out.
Wait a fucking second. They don't know what's going on. Like, shit's actually just chaos and made up. And this kid kind of like experiences that all at once.
Yeah,
and says, fuck this, I'm taking mom back to the island or back to the mainland, and I'm going to go find this doctor.
Because he heard rumors of this doctor who was basically banished because he was stacking bodies.
Well,
right?
he was living out there, and they all thought it was somebody that people knew from the before times.
Yeah.
But it had only been, maybe 5 or 6 years since the before times when this kid first saw him. And when the dad did, and they assumed that he was bananas, and so, but at this point,
clearly he was being weird, though. He was he's like stacking bodies, like.
Well, and I think that part of that is the idea that people misremember things, and
maybe
the idea
there's some
that
lore attached to it.
Yeah, and this kid's realizing, like, my mom's gonna die. This place sucks.
Dad fucking fucked some
right.
person at the bar.
Like, I don't want to be known for being this hunter when it's not even something that I can do. Like, I don't really care what happens. If we stay here, I know my mom's going to die and that's going to suck. If we leave, at least there's a chance. So he figures out a way. They sneak off and they go to
call to adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful watching the mom drift in and out of coherence.
And this is where I think Danny Boyle took a nap and Alex Garland picked up the camera, because the way that the second act is, it's way less frantic. All of the camera angles are like, basically you're walking with him, his mom, and then this soldier that they eventually bump into
for a hot minute.
Yeah. I do love the gas station, by the way. What did it say? Like hell instead of shell.
Yes,
it was
which was amazing.
Yeah, like, great shot, beautiful, and also felt a little bit more like Annihilation, like a shot from Annihilation.
No, it totally did. I really
think that, like, and I would be curious to know if this ever comes out, but I do think that, like, they may have divided and conquered on this film, because like this is when I was like, oh my God, like, this feels more like a Garland hand,
Okay.
And also, I mean, the elements too. Like, Garland has clearly put himself in the position of, like, I'm an expert of, like, covering military conflict, and
true.
We're working again with soldiers, and it felt more like we were walking with the characters in a world similar to Civil War.
And there's a little bit of lighthearted interplay where the kid doesn't understand the technology that this soldier has, and like
the dialogue they have is pretty cool.
It was good. I thought it worked really well.
It also showed a little bit more about the world, like, through context, which was kind of better than telling. He's just having a conversation with this soldier, and
then they finally find a pregnant zombie. There's an entire thing that happens there, Samson, which I think we should...
Not Samson, another Samson. Because Samson got shot with an arrow.
No, we didn't know that the one that got shot with the arrows wasn't Samson. He was a nameless one.
Another big giant
because
alpha.
We didn't even know that Samson was a thing until the doctor introduces us to Samson.
Okay. But we do have another giant guy who does...
This is Samson.
Yeah. And he rips the skull and spine from this poor soldier.
And I think that it was his baby. That was his baby.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think that was one of the elements that was kind of going on. At least that's the way I read it. A bunch kind of transpires, and they meet the doctor, and they realize that, no, actually this doctor isn't some evil, weird kook. He's
got his own way of ritual and respect, I guess.
Yeah, and he feels like all of these people have died, and his way of holding on to humanity and finding a way forward is to honor those people and to not let them just rot.
Yeah, show care to their remains.
And he has, incredibly well thought out procedures for all of
What do we
it.
got here? The Bone Temple. I have some facts about it.
He's got his whole body covered in iodine because it protects against the virus, which is super smart.
Yeah, you have to remember this is a world where if you got blood in your eye, you would change quickly.
Yep.
Remember?
Yep.
You'd get the rage virus. The Bone Temple, though, 6 months of construction, and they used over 250,000 replica bones and 5,500 skulls, which is interesting that they chose to not digitally make this. They actually physically built this.
Well, they couldn't physically build that beautiful sky. That's impossible.
Well, that's true. You could use lights, though, or something. I don't know.
The big wide shot, man, I want a poster of that.
But, interesting.
And you want a poster? No, you want a poster of the bones. I want a poster of the sky.
The bone thing was kind of cool. They still looked kind of like... I just don't think that if you cremate a body...
I think you do.
You think it remains that white, though? I feel like the bones get scorched, but I could be wrong. Write us, Byron at Frightday.com. Send me an email if you know if hot bones get scorched. Because these were pristine-looking skulls. And when they were all so white, it felt almost like a Spirit Halloween or something. But
bones get bleached in less than a month by solely exposing them to sunlight.
Okay, but remember, we can't spoil that. Let's just say there was a fresh skull. Let's just say it was the soldier's skull. Was very bright white as soon as they removed it from that kind of thing. I don't know, someone outside.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got new metal neighbors now. I don't
even know what that was.
A new metal neighbor?
No, that didn't sound like new metal.
I don't know what it was either, but yeah, I think this was interesting. This was an arc. We don't need to talk about the specifics, but let's just say that the boy and the doctor was really emotional for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't work on me.
I just loved. To me, again, it's like another. This is how he finds a will to survive. This is how a human finds a will to survive in this situation. For the doctor, it was
like an exploration of humanity.
Yeah. Which I thought was really interesting.
There's an interesting kind of confidence. A confidence in this doctor. He's very self-assured. He's wise. He doesn't need the support or understanding of everyone else. He's kind of figured out what he wants and how he does it and how it works for him, and I think that's kind of interesting. But
and to think about him surviving for this long on his own, it sounds like obviously he's encountered people, but he has been without permanent company for that time.
I guess we should probably say who this person is, because I think his performance is being very highly regarded as well.
Oh, Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's done a lot of stuff.
Oh,
right,
dude.
Yeah?
Okay. Yes. So sorry. I didn't realize, because I can definitely do this for us. Voldemort.
Okay. Schindler's List, Conclave. Yeah. How'd they get him?
He's like top 10 because
Made in Manhattan. Interesting.
I don't know that he probably puts that at the top of his CV.
Well,
maybe he does.
He might love that.
I could be wrong.
J. Lo's performance was performance of a lifetime.
Is probably regarded as one of the best actors of our age.
Why you see, India? Why am I unaware?
He did all the Roald Dahl shorts.
Okay. English Patient, haven't seen it. Heard good things.
I'm pretty sure he's won.
I'm no doubt. Yeah. Just interesting that I don't know.
You want to know what his full name is?
I don't.
And it actually might be pronounced Rafe. I don't know. But anyhow, Nathaniel Twistleton Wickham Fine.
Huh.
I also thought the kid in this movie was tremendous.
Yeah, I agree.
The young man was truly a phenomenal actor. I think it's very easy to overlook that when you're watching a movie like this, because his his character isn't as extreme in its emotional display, but I think that the way that he captured, I don't know, kind of a Martian,
Innocence.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's, and this huge idea of,
His name is Spike, by the way, in the
Spike,
film.
I'm so
It's kinda-
sorry.
no, that's kind of interesting.
and he just decides, yeah, I'm done with this bullshit, and I am moving on
It was
to.
pretty reckless what he did, though.
But of course it is, because he has no, like, his frame of
Impulsive.
reference. So anyhow, suffice it to say, at the end of the movie, he decides he's going to go off on his own and explore this world. And we run into,
Oh, God.
at the very end of this movie, I think you're actually going to like it more when you get the context
The
for who this
goddamn
guy is.
Warriors.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's this crazy.
Well, I know it's not a direct reference, but
It's no, what it's a reference to is a really notorious evil dude from England, which we'll talk about in a second. So
I think it's Jimmy Savile. Then is that
yeah,
okay?
It's
well,
supposed to be a reference to Jimmy Savile.
I mean that's interesting, huh?
Yeah,
that's horrifying, actually.
Yeah,
but
very
I still
horrifying.
I still think tonally, it's very shocking. And
Oh, it's totally shocking. It's like, but I loved that because it felt like the world feels to Spike. It's like everything is so fucking strange and chaotic. It's like this soldier with a brick that lights up and makes no sense to him, and this alpha zombie that was something he'd never heard of.
Yeah, but I'm
and
watching
then this
the film.
giant.
I'm watching.
But
the
we're
film.
supposed to be experiencing it like him. So you called this too. The first movie, we're supposed to experience it like Killian does,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like walking through this world and experience what he's experiencing.
And that's what I like. Is that
and
kind of-
that's
yeah.
what we're doing, but it's from this kid's perspective in this movie.
Huh.
And I can understand why that doesn't sit as well with some people, and I totally get why there are things that don't resonate. For me, this was such an awesome experience. The sound, the acting, the story, the idea that we're going to get another one. I didn't know who the fuck Jimmy Savile was until I left this movie and looked this up, and I was like, oh my God.
I think it is.
Do you know
Savile,
he's
by the way.
accused
Uh-huh.
of sexually assaulting people from an age range of 5 to 80?
Yeah. He's really the spectrum of predator. Yeah.
He was a nightmare.
I'm surprised you were unaware of. I feel like
no clue about him. No
Interesting.
clue about him. And even worse, he's like a creepier, worse Weinstein, because he was worshipped until after he died. And though people had
Yeah, he
reported
didn't-
this
he didn't
stuff,
really get away. Yeah. Or he
nobody
did get
followed up with it. And people would tell the accusers that they were lying, and this all got buried until after he was dead. And then enough people came forward saying, no, really, like, he was a horrific predator.
Yeah.
And finally that came to light. But he got to
But
live
what's that
his
got to
whole
do with
life.
ninja skills?
Well, this dude is a creepy mofo with an upside down cross necklace.
Cool.
Who clearly is the kid from the very beginning of the movie that we watched.
Kid from the very beginning.
Oh, the very first scene.
The Teletubby.
Yeah, he was the
scene.
one kid that escaped. His dad was the priest, and he
Oh,
was the one
shit.
kid.
See, yeah,
that was Jimmy.
I did not know that.
And that's why there was Jimmy carved in all the bodies that we saw throughout, and there was Jimmy written.
Oh, see, that's interesting.
In
It doesn't make it
graffiti?
better, but I think it's interesting.
But so Jimmy, and literally the show that Jimmy Savile had, or however his stupid,
Savile, yeah.
yep,
Savile,
was called Jim'll Fix It. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
TV
yeah.
show.
Oh.
Yeah. So very weird. And I also like that. I love things that Americans don't get, but other people get, because really Americans deserve to be left out of most
All
jokes
right.
at this point in
For-
time.
for a little bit at least.
I am.
Highs, please hit me with it.
My high was. This is going to be really weird to you. My high, two highs. The star scene, the sky scene, which
Terrible.
I bet you are not the only person in thinking it was terrible.
I'm not. Yeah, I
right.
wouldn't be
But
surprised.
I loved it. My tie for high was the birth scene,
Interesting.
and
That's
my
really-
low was the birth scene.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll do a high of, well, let's start low.
I think you should. It seems easier.
Oh my god. Yeah, that actually is harder. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess just general cinematography didn't work for me. But I did. I mean, it's funny because I've had conversations with people like Jacob who loved it, and
Jacob loved it too.
I think I know that he appreciated the cinematography. I don't know if he loved
You
the
keep
film.
talking. I'm just going to text him and tell him congrats on being right about something.
Handful of people enjoyed that. I found it disorienting. Maybe I'm just a traditionalist. Maybe I'm not as avant-garde as I thought I was. But my high, I gotta say, Kelly, I think my conversation between the soldier and Spike was the high, which is almost felt like almost improvisational, like the way that they were communicating with each other. I thought that was really cool, and like just a walking and talking style film on a hill,
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. The background noise too, that boots, the Rudyard Kipling recording. I need to now go and listen to the whole thing. But
how about your final thoughts here?
I'm not going to argue that this is a movie for everyone, but I think that if you try to approach it from the perspective of this is a kid coming from a different universe and experiencing some weird hybrid of what we know and what we've seen in the other settings of the rage virus world. It's a really beautiful study of humanity.
Yeah.
And a beautiful study of coming of age in a weird way, like this kid and trying to figure out what his path in life is going to be and separate from the world that he has decided is not the way he wants to live his life. And the idea of remembering death and focusing on loving people. It was really tender and beautiful in a lot of parts, which is why Sam didn't like it.
And it's also,
as much.
I mean, that's not a terribly unique trait in the new zombie genre, like the people are the real enemy or people.
But it was a lot more tender than Days or Weeks.
Carl and Rick Grimes or something. Oh, and specifically in the franchise, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and I loved those. 28 Weeks Later remains my favorite zombie movie ever.
Interesting, yeah.
This is number 2.
That's insane.
I know it is. Don't expect to love it as much as I do, probably. But if go in looking, abstractly and be ready to be surprised. Get on for the ride. Have a blast. Jacob says he likes it. Didn't love it.
Okay.
But thought it was a decent watch in theaters.
Sure. What's your final score there? Don't fucking do it. If it's 9, I'm going to hang myself on video. And then you have to edit this.
I can't. I'll put it out clean and just like it is.
Just raw? Okay. You gotta know in your heart, right?
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
9.2 unnecessary full frontal scenes.
Oh, we didn't even talk about zombie dick.
So much dong.
People love that. Like that was like the trending hashtag with zombie dick after that came out. I think that's wonderful.
So weird.
You know me, I think that the more
you're like all about the reverse exploitation these days.
I don't think it's exploitation. It's normalization of nudity. I think that's great.
That's great too. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. This is one of the few movies I actually did a written review for, so I might reference a couple things from that.
You go for it.
I don't know. Guess you can't break the rules if you invented the game, is what I said. But dang, Danny, the idea of shooting with iPhone
new rules.
15 Pro Maxes to match the lo-fi energy of the original with its Canon XL1s. Funny, I looked it up back then, but forgot to remember it. It's interesting in concept, but you can definitely feel the pinch zooms, which is another thing I didn't tell you. Like you can feel kind of the stutter of the zooms.
I wonder now if I rewatched it knowing that if I would pick up on it.
That would be really interesting. Yeah. The coverage during the scenes is absurd and disorienting. Tension comes from an entirely different place than the other films, feeling almost forced. The first action shockingly feels like both a comic book movie and a direct-to-DVD DVD sequel. The second settles, bobbing briefly with its head above water, stylistically and tonally as if it was a directing torch passed to Garland for a bit. Funny, I wrote this a couple weeks ago, but I'm happy to hear my opinion is standing. Even in the quiet, the world building crumbles at the weight of poor dialogue and weak motivation, which I gotta say, like,
the dialogue is great, and
there's not a lot behind the choices of the boy to move out. It's almost, well, and I'll say this in a second. For a coming-of-age film, the insecurity and passion felt muted. Choppy and frantic doesn't equal raw, and that's what made the first a classic. Strapping 10 iPhones to a rig for a DIY bullet time isn't gonzo. Neither are CG fantasy sequences, but I called this one part late-stage Romero and another Disney-esque hero's journey, which may be why you enjoyed it, because it did feel like there's points where this is almost like a forced emotional journey, coming of age story, right?
Yep.
Yeah, doesn't even deny it. Interesting. No spoilers. Last scene shook me up and won't soon leave me. Half star for moments of hit playing, which again, Teletubby sequence in the beginning was very much like, oh, we're gonna do this again. I love it. I appreciate it, but. Overall, 28 years later.
I love it.
Gosh darn it.
I'm going to hold off from going to see it again.
5.2?
Wow. Just like, wow. Okay.
5.3? Does that make you feel
Not
better?
much. It doesn't matter at this point.
5.3, worms, I guess, right?
You're going to have to show me that video, Destiny Makes Tectone Break Down in Tears, in a second.
Do you even know who Tectone is? I don't know who Tectone is.
I don't either, but I know that Destiny...
Why are you eating? We're done with the movie, so you've decided to shovel cookie dough in your mouth and point at Destiny videos on the internet?
No, I'm sad, so you got to cheer me up. The cookie
That's
dough's helping a little.
Happy. He's not a good guy right now.
Destiny isn't?
Yeah, people aren't enjoying him. But we're going to talk about that never. Great, Kelly. Glad we were able to walk through this film, though, finally. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So, happy about it. Very curious to know. Those are our thoughts, of course. Really curious to know what the listeners think about this. Let's have a big discussion about it in the Discord. Discord.frightday.com. You could reach out to us on Twitter at Frightday. Same with Blue Sky. Contact@frightday.com is our email address. Or you can leave a comment below this episode in the show notes. Yeah.
And if you think that anybody you know might enjoy this, or any people you remember watching The Beach with, or who you think need to hear a little bit more about great horror movies coming out, share with a friend.
Interesting. Also, not again, like we mentioned, there's going to be a sequel to this, and I believe it's the beginning of a trilogy. But 28 years later, The Bone Temple is coming out. They're saying January 16th, 2026.
Yeah, it's directed by Nia DaCosta.
And what has Nia DaCosta done?
Well, hell if I know. It's just not directed by Boyle.
No, but Alex Garland is writing it, so that makes sense. Nia DaCosta was the Candyman director. That's right.
Oh, I actually really liked the new Candyman.
Yeah, we had a good time. Go back to that episode and listen to it. So,
what has okay, so she did The Marvels, or she wrote it, which I really, really liked. Hold on. I just need to check. Let's see here.
You just want to? Do you want them?
Ooh, the Lincoln Conspiracy.
Right. Okay, so let's. We'll talk more about that another time.
Fascinating.
Jesus. Okay. A lot more visitors coming your way, Kelly. Big week next week, I think. At least in the next couple weeks. A friend. Subject of another episode, Alan. You hear this guy?
I do.
Allentown Part 2.
Yeah, and we really need you, Alan, to please reach out.
You're doing a plea, huh?
I would be happy.
Plea for
Signal. I got my own Proton mail now, just to make it easier to communicate with you.
Interesting. Odd.
I mean, can't we email him?
All right.
And
well,
do you think they
probably will respond, but who knows? Kelly, lots of stuff, more visitors, casual Frightday, lots of things coming down the pike. But until next Frightday, I'm Byron.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm going to urge people to Stay
open to the joy of Alex Garland and Danny Boyle.
In 2002.
And 2025 and 2026, it looks like.
Stay scared.
Bye.
You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McCoy. Theme music is provided by Yawns. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.